So the Atssb number 5 etude, this is pretty straightforward here, this cut. The thing to remember about this cut is, because we're starting in the middle here, the dynamic is almost forte when we start. Maybe it's mezzo forte, right? And then by the downbeat of the first full measure of this cut, we're forte. So make sure you're really, I think this is good. I think when we begin the cut, we begin the etude here, we're able to put some air through the horn and play a nice, comfortable mezzo forte forte right at the very beginning. And I think that's good. So make sure it's nice and full. Play a nice full forte. This will make it easier for you then to get down to a piano, because the dynamic contrast is a huge thing here in this particular cut. We want to make sure that we're really setting up a huge, wide dynamic range for the listener here. So if we start loud, if we start mezzo forte forte, nice and full, put a lot of air through the horn, then it'll make your pianos that much more impressive. All right. When you're working on this one, it's got a lot of different rhythms in it. So one thing you might want to do is put your metronome on the 8th click, on the 8th note click, and feel that 8th note click so that we know where all those 16ths, the 32nds, and the 16th triplets, how those are all going to relate to each other in there, all right? So for example, if I start, let's see, like measure 20, for example, something like that. And if I have my 8th click going, so I'm just going to tap my foot, okay? If I have the 8th click going, all right, so now I'm making sure that, I've got 4 32nds and 1 8th note click. I've got 1 16th triplet in an 8th note click, okay? And I'm just making sure that everything's relating to each other correctly. The other thing to be aware of when you're listening to that 8th note click is your longer notes, your longer sustained notes, making sure that those are full value. For example, right at the very beginning of the cut. Making sure that you're getting a full value there in the half notes, okay? So the rhythm, making sure that the 16ths, the 32nds, the 16th triplets are all relating to each other properly in there, and then also making sure the sustained notes have enough time in them, all right, that they're full value. The only other little thing in here that I would suggest is in the trill section, for example, measure 24, all right? I like to speed up, start the trill a little bit slower in there, and then speed up as I go to change notes. So. Okay? So just a little bit, just a subtle thing, but start the trill a little bit slower. We have a lot of time to do this trill, so I don't think we need to make it, like a sort of a machine gun trill there right at the very beginning. Okay, just trying to provide a little bit of interest for it because it's not a very long cut, so we just want to try to be as musical as we can. All right, good luck.